Hey guys, welcome back. So we've created this button here, which is going to be used to create a new playlist. Obviously it doesn't do anything at the moment, but that's what we're going to do in this video. Let's get this set up. So go across to your script.js file. I'm going to create a new function here, and this is going to be the function that creates a playlist for us. So let's say function create playlist, like that. And then this is going to take one parameter, that's going to be a username like that. And then we're going to use something called an alert for this, just to keep things simple. And an alert, if I show you what it looks like now on my finished version, if I click this button here, you'll see it pops up with this. This is the web browser built-in alert. All web browsers have them. And we're going to use this because it keeps things simple, they're really easy to work with, and it doesn't depend on any other library. Of course, if you want to do something like this on your own, you can create your own custom alert, or you can use some plugin or something, that's fine too. But to keep things simple, we're going to use this because it's a built-in thing with web browsers and we don't have to install any of the plugins or anything like that. So they're really easy to use. All we're going to do is say var alert, and let's set this to prompt, and this is the built-in function which shows that prompt for you. So prompt, and the parameter it takes is the string that will be shown. So please enter the name of your playlist, like that. And I'll save it and just show you what that looks like. So in order to see what it looks like, we have to hook this up to something first. So I'm going to take this create playlist function and go back to a yourmusic.php, and on the button, let's hook it up with an onClick. So onClick equals, and put create playlist in there. And then remember, we give it one parameter, which is a username, but for now you can just put anything in there. So just put something in there just to keep any error messages away. So go back to our page, and now when you press this button, you should see a prompt show up, which we don't. Let me just inspect element. It could be that the file is cached, so I'm going to clear the cache anyway, just to make sure. So empty cache, hard reload, and let's hit the playlist button, and we see the prompt appear. So that was the problem. It cached the JavaScript file. Anyway, so this is our prompt. Now you can type the name of the playlist in here and press OK, and eventually that will create the playlist for you. So go back to here and script.js. And all we need to do to handle this, like I said, they're really simple to work with. All we have to do is say if alert is not equal to null, it means this was filled in and the button was pressed. Okay. So just to make sure it worked, we can even do console.log, and in there we can just put alert, and we should see the value they entered. So let's refresh the page now. And I'll go ahead and click new playlist, and I'll type something there. Hello, and click OK, and you'll see it there. So alert contains the value that was entered in that text box, which in our case is the name of our playlist. So all we're going to do now is use that name and create a playlist with that name. So essentially all we need to do is execute an insert MySQL query, which will create our playlist for us. Now because we're using JavaScript, we need to do this using Ajax. We can't execute MySQL from here. So we're going to go ahead and make an Ajax call. So $ post, exactly how we've done Ajax calls before, and this first parameter is the name of the file, which we haven't created yet, so I'll leave that blank. The second parameter is going to be the data you're going to pass in, and that goes inside curly brackets, and we can pass in the name of the playlist, which can be alert, and we also want to pass in the username, because when we insert this into the database, we insert this new playlist, we need to assign it to a username so we know who this playlist actually belongs to. So username, and then we can just put colon, and then username, which comes from this parameter here. Alright, and that's it. Often we would use a function which would be the return code that would be executed with the return value, but we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do, instead of using a success code block like we've done with our other Ajax calls, I'm just going to show you a different way you can do it, and that way is through something called done. So we can say .done, and this code will be executed when the Ajax call is done. And inside that parentheses is just going to be the code to execute. So we're going to say function, and then your curly braces, like that. And if you want to, you can move this done onto the line below like that. It still counts, it still will attach it to that. So if you wanted to keep things cleaner and for a new line, you can do that. Or you can keep it up there, that's fine too. But I'm going to move it down there. Anyway, this done right here is different from our usual success handler for some very subtle reasons. There's nothing much that you need to be concerned with, But just know that done is kind of more recently the preferred way to handle Ajax responses. The reason is because of something called deferreds, and the word is deferreds, like that, in case you want to look it up for yourself. But I won't explain deferreds now because they kind of extend past the bounds of this course, and they're a little bit more advanced, not overly advanced, but just know that done is kind of the preferred way to execute Ajax responses. But as far as you're concerned, there's not a whole lot of difference in our cases, okay? So for what we're doing, there's not a whole lot of difference, and you can use either the success handler we usually do, where we just pass a function in here, or the done block. They'll both be fine, okay? So this is just do something when Ajax returns. Alright, great. So all that's left to do is specify the name of the file we want to send this Ajax request to, and that will be includes/handlers/Ajax/ and then we can just call it create playlist.php. And we obviously haven't created this file yet, so let's go and do that now. I'm going to copy that name, create playlist.php, create a new file, and save this in the includes handlers Ajax, and then this is going to be create playlist.php, just like that. Save that, and then this is where the code to create our playlist is going to go. So this create playlist function is pretty much done now. The only thing left to do is just to take care of this, and all we're going to do when we've created the playlist is just open the Your Music page. So open page, and we can just specify the name of the page to open, which will just be yourmusic.php, like that. That means that when we create the playlist and click go, it will just essentially open the Your Music page, which is in this case the page we're already on, which is basically just a page refresh, okay? So let's save that, and that's actually it. This function is done now. So all that's left to do is get this create playlist.php file done, and all it's going to do is one insert query. That's it.